Hey, so today's Easter, and I literally have no plans but to do my homework because this semester I literally have 4-day weekends and I've been procrastinating so badly. I'm a good student, so it's fine. But it's literally 3:18 right now, and I've yet to eat today. And I wrote most of my script for my final project, but I need to finish the script and I need to make storyboards. I need to make some floor plans. Tomorrow I'm gonna get still photos of each location, and I need to reach out to the people that I want to act for me. And then also I need to create like a stylistic presentation for my class on Tuesday. I have an annotated bibliography due tomorrow for my visual ethnography class, so I need to read through all of my sources and work on that. Also, I got Oreo, so I need to read, I think, like the first 70 pages of this for my class tomorrow and write a discussion post on that. I already FaceTimed with my family and they seem like they're having a fun Easter. I would have gone, except I need to go home in like 2 weeks and I was just home, so there's no reason for me to be traveling back and forth right now when I have so much shit to do. So it's really great. There was also like no reason for me to get ready today and like do my makeup, but I just felt like it because I've been getting really bad sleep and just feeling like so groggy and gross that I just was like, I need to get ready. I used to line my waterline very often, but I would only use black eyeshadow. But today I actually lined them with a black like eyeliner pencil. Sorry, a black eyeliner pencil. And I think it suits me pretty well. Sometimes I can't tell, but yeah, you might wonder like, what have I been doing with all my time? And literally yesterday I spent so much time dancing. Literally just in my room dancing, cooking, trying to come up with a concept for my script, talking to my boyfriend, talking to my family. Yeah, honestly, like music's the biggest like time grabber for me. like, but yeah, I'm super hungry, so I'm gonna make eggs and matcha. Maybe I'll make a ham, egg, and cheese. I don't know. Sometimes I'm just really like turned off to ham, egg, and cheese when I could just have like bread with butter and eggs. This weekend I've literally barely been out of the house, but it's okay because the weather's been pretty bad. Like today is rainy. I would have gone out today, especially because I was supposed to take stills for my like location hunting. I don't know how I feel about this outfit. Super duper plain. Also, this big sweater is wrinkled, so, but it is super cute. It's my grandma's. Like, she gave it to me. I am in desperate need of food, getting stuff done. I ended up making just like a scrambled egg sandwich with some mushrooms, baby spinach, pico de gallo, like I cooked it, some pepper jack cheese. I've been loving pepper jack cheese. Then I also made some matcha, which I had most of it already. I was using David's Tea matcha, but then I really wanted to try Nami. I did, and I really like it. This is the Kana blend, but I also tried her Akumadori and her, I can't remember right now, but I'll put it on the screen if I figure it out. And I'm watching Twin Peaks, and then I need to get to work. There's absolutely nothing like putting in a slice of gum after you've eaten. Let me know if anyone feels that. I finished eating and my grandma FaceTimed me because they're out to eat for Easter. Now I'm going to finish working on my script and then I'll get to some more planning and reading. Oh, I'm kind of stressed. It's Wednesday and I'm done with my classes because I don't have class Thursday and Friday, but it's been a really long week. Yeah, 3 days can feel very, very long. Basically, Monday I had my literature class, and then I had my flamenco class that night, and then Tuesday I basically have class like all day. I have a class from 10 to 1:45, and then I have a class from 6 to 9:45. But that class was actually really fun because I had to do some acting for some in-class scenes that we shoot. And it was funny because I had to be kind of like a Princess Leia figure in like a Star Wars scene. So that was really fun, and I had a fake like gun, and I was supposed to have finished reading Beloved by today, but I really just did not have enough time for that. Yeah, I'm just feeling very overwhelmed with my workload, but thankfully I have this whole weekend to literally just work and prep, and then I think next week's gonna be really, really tough. Just because I think I'm gonna have to shoot both of my film projects next week. I have kind of a quick turnaround to hand in rough cuts. It's good because I have 2 assignments due on like Monday and Tuesday, which are just preparing me for my projects. There's so much construction going on outside also. I mean, today's April 1st, so it's really crazy. This is like my last month of school. The work that I have to do, honestly, is super fun. It just requires like a lot of thought for me because obviously I want it to turn out well in the way that I want it to turn out. So I rewatched Nowhere it's Gregor Aki's film because I kind of thought up a script idea that took a lot of inspiration from Nowhere, but I don't know if I'm still gonna go for that because I tried to write what I thought in my head, but then I was like, wait, this is kind of like stupid. But I do like the framework of the idea that I have, so I'll try. I also just wanted to show this bracelet that I got in Mexico City, which is made out of a spoon. It's really pretty and it matches this ring that my tia gave me. And it's engraved with my name and the year it was from, which was 2020. I'm due for a manicure and I'm also due for a haircut. So my hair is so super long. You can't even see how long it is right now, but I think I need to mix things up a little bit because I really like my long hair, but it's just getting to be too, I guess, just familiar. I might as well spice it up and get a fun cut. And my mom wants me, well, she sent me this cool look, which is basically just like color on the ends only, like this. I don't think I would go that short right now. What I was thinking more so is keep the length in the back and then do just like choppy side bangs, like very abrupt. So today is April 11th and I have been running around like a mad woman for the past few days because yesterday I had my first day of shooting my final project for class. The preparation for that has just been so stressful. I just have a lot coming up, so it's been a lot to think about. For the most part, it's been going really well, but I was just stressed about finding actors and getting done all of the preparation, like the shot list and blah, 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 perfecting the script, making sure that I have all the right equipment, charging all the batteries, just like bringing the equipment to my apartment, cleaning my apartment because we shot some of it. I shot some like inserts like outside in the park, but most of the scenes take place inside, so I needed to have my apartment ready for people to come over. I was just so stressed out because the camera that we've been using for my directing class is the Canon EOS R5C. This is what it looks like, but yeah, I needed to format it, and I realized like last minute that my SD card wasn't the correct one for this camera. So yesterday I was kind of freaking out because I was like, oh, I can't even shoot anything if my SD card isn't gonna work in this camera. So I was going on like all these different websites like Staples, Best Buy. There's this one like techie store in Cambridge, but the only one that they had for this camera was like close to like $400 because of how many gigabytes it was. Like they only had one in stock, and I was like, obviously I'm not gonna spend that. I was so stressed out that I was like, I recruited some help from my mom, and she found this camera store like not that far away. It was just like a few T stops away from me, and they had the correct memory card that I needed. I only got 64 gigabytes because it would have been too expensive to get more, but for this camera it needs to be like V90, so that's what I had to look for. And thankfully it was only like, I was talking about this the other day, but studying film, it feels like one of the only like disciplines where you have to spend a lot of your own money, or it's like you don't technically have to, but it kind of ends up happening if you want to do good work and stuff. I'm able to rent like most of the equipment through my school, but not SD cards, not certain batteries. And then obviously like it's hard when you're living in the dorms, because if you want to shoot in a home or something, you need to rent that, which is super expensive. I was so happy when I got that SD card because it was the only one that they had in stock also. And I was also thinking this yesterday, like I hear a lot of people that I follow preach this concept of taking a leap in faith, and then energetically the universe will match your leap of faith a lot of times with like a positive gesture. Basically what I'm saying is like I wrote the script, I picked out the characters, I set a date, I went through all of the necessary preparation, and even though I didn't have the right equipment or I didn't have the actors, I still like had faith that those things would come together. So I didn't cancel anything, even though, 2 hours before the shoot I didn't have the right SD card, but I didn't call it off because I knew that it would work out. And I found an actor because just like through the grapevine, and I was really, really grateful because I was just worried that it wasn't gonna turn out. And then this is another thing, while we were on set I was stressed because since it's only 64 gigabytes I had to offload some of the footage onto my computer, but lo and behold, like my computer was out of storage, so I just started like mass deleting like attachments from my messages. That helped, but then I was also confused. I'm so bad with modern technology that it's like so bad, but I was like, I need to shoot something on a digital camera because for all my years at film school I've pretty much only been shooting on analog, like a Bolex. So I was like, for this project you have to use modern technology and figure this shit out, because if I'm graduating in a few weeks, if I graduate without knowing at least a little bit of this stuff, it's like so embarrassing and just doesn't set me up well for my future. When I transferred the footage to my computer, it was only coming up like as QuickTime files and it wasn't letting me open them. So I was like, oh shit, like is this all corrupted files? So I was really nervous that I just didn't have the footage, you know? But later that night, I did some research. And it's honestly pretty sad that with a lot of this stuff, like yesterday, I did have to resort to using ChatGPT, which I don't want to use, but if nobody is telling, like if no one's teaching me this stuff, and when I look it up online, it's like these long-winded YouTube videos where they don't even really answer my specific question, then it's kind of like, I don't know what to do. I wish I had one of my teachers on speed dial, you know? Stuff like that just happens, and ChatGPT was able to help me figure out certain issues. I know that with the repetition of using this equipment, eventually I'll know how to do it and I won't have to resort to measures like that. But also, I was really glad to have some of my classmates as my crew because some of them just know the equipment better than I do. And I felt kind of embarrassed because for like during the shoot when we were setting up the equipment and stuff, one girl in my class, she was like, "Do you have a sandbag for the lights?" And I was like, "Oh, no, that's something I forgot to rent." And then she's like, "Do you have gloves for the gaffers so they don't burn their hands on the lights?" And I'm like, "Oh, no." It's like, "Do you have gaff tape for the gels?" No, I actually didn't think of that either. So it's a weird experience because part of why I love film and movies, TV, just like visual media, I love YouTube. So part of the reason why I love it is just how personal it can be, and your connection with it doesn't have to be that tangible or widely understood because it's just your relationship with the content, and there's not necessarily a right way to look at something. But I was realizing yesterday that as a director and as a screenwriter, you really have to be able to verbally express your taste and also just the sentiment behind the story, which gets confusing when you're working with people who don't necessarily have the same taste or have had the same experiences. So they might not like understand exactly what you're trying to express, you know? But the people that I worked with were all really, really great and very helpful, so I'm grateful. We didn't get through all of the shots and all of the scenes that I had wanted to, so this upcoming week I have to schedule all of that out. It's just hard right now because the actresses that I asked, they're not really actresses, they're friends of mine, but they go to a different school than me and their end date for school is a bit earlier than mine, so I feel bad asking them, obviously, to free up their schedule during finals, and I'm grateful because when I figured out how to view the footage, it all looked really beautiful and exactly, you know, what I was going for. So thank you, universe, and thank you, I mean, there's so many people to thank, even thank you to myself for following through on this, because even a few years ago when I would try to do projects like these, I just wouldn't use the more intimidating cameras or more intimidating equipment because I felt like I just wouldn't be able to figure them out, so I didn't even try. But with this project, I have been forcing myself and it paid off. I need to get this all done this week, and I also have to film an interview for my visual ethnography class, so it's just so much to think about, but it is like my last month of college and I also want to enjoy it, but it's kind of hard to enjoy something when you're so insanely stressed out that you can't even really celebrate or enjoy things. That's why I'm really glad that I'm gonna stay here for the month of May after graduation. Yeah, yesterday I went to bed probably close to 4 a.m. I woke up at 8 and then I was searching for an SD card. So I took the T to that camera store and then I went to Trader Joe's to get some flowers for my room just because I wanted to add some things to the production design so that it looks nice in here. And then I went to my school library to print out a couple copies of the script. I went to CVS to buy like a poster board and stuff for props, which I should have done earlier. I've just been like so out of it and I didn't have time to do that. I didn't eat yesterday until 9 p.m. which I know is not healthy, but I feel like there's certain instances where I just need to like focus on a project because it's so important to me and I need this for my portfolio. I just want to have something that really represents my vision before graduating college, which I think that I do with my prior projects, but this one's a bit more tangible since it's like a narrative, I guess, and also because it's digital. I feel like more experimental stuff will kind of, it's like hit or miss with people, so we'll see about that. Right now, I think I'm gonna go into the park and read more of Oreo by Fran Ross because I need to finish it by my class on Monday. I kind of have been behind on reading that just because of all the other things that I've been doing. And later tonight at 6, I'm going to go to a showcase that my flamenco teachers are doing, and they have some other flamenco dancers and a guitarist and singer here from Madrid just for a little while. They taught some classes and I'm excited to see them dance later because I think I like watching flamenco more than I like dancing it, but the classes are just another way for me to be in that realm and that energy. And for my visual ethnography paper, like research paper and creative project, it's cool because I get to research into the history, the politics of it, and it's all just so interesting. Oh, that's another thing. The weather yesterday was so nice. I went outside in just a t-shirt and the city is looking so beautiful and springy. So I am happy. Yeah, just like all the flowers are blooming and it's exactly what I wanted for some of my shots. I'll update you when I get a chance.